So we have now seen this moment where students feel behind, they feel like they're not learning, they feel challenged. On top of that, we see the influence of social media. Thank you for sharing that. And finally, we see a spike in self-harm reports, literally a doubling of self-harm in teenagers. We know that an extraordinary number of kids across the Commonwealth of Virginia, 80% are deeply engaged with social media every day. 25% say that they're 24/7. Think through that. They're sleeping with their phones on. We've got a real challenge. I believe that we need to put restrictions on social media companies' ability to harvest, gather, and sell the data of our children. Right now, the way that the consumer protection laws are written is it's 13 and under. We introduced a bill to extend that up to 18, to under 18, and the other side didn't want to do that. They felt that they were going to side with social media companies over families. Again, that's not a political statement, that's a parent statement. And so we've got, in my view, a real issue. And so let's have a discussion around the mental health of our kids and the role of social media and where you want to take this. But let me just go back to Delegate Duran here for a moment. Mm-hmm. You have a 15-year-old.
I do.
And you've raised a college student and an adult through this phase.
Yeah.
How do you handle this in your family?
I would say we probably share the title of World's Meanest Parents as well, because we don't allow it. Our 15-year-old doesn't have it. Now, she doesn't bottle us on that, so it's something that, I think that's, if you're not on the same page with your child about that, and I'm very sensitive to the peer pressures, that's going to be tough. But, I'm grateful for that part that we've got, our family, we've got an open dialogue, and we've had some frank discussions about what can happen. But that's not to say that that hasn't been a challenge for, the older one, the one who's now an adult. That was just emerging when she was of that age in middle school, and those were, navigating those waters was really tough even back then. So they were new, they were emerging, and we just didn't know the dangers. I think early on, as we know more information now of what can happen to these kids, and it's heartbreaking. I mean, to hear your story, I wish was unique. It's not. I think it does. It strikes. No matter what the demographic is, it certainly touched our family too. So I'm so glad your son is doing better now, and was able to get. Clearly you're great parents, and so fortunate for that. But this is how we're tackling it right now. Is we don't have it. Our child doesn't have any of them, but she's agreed with this too. So
you've discussed it. You've had a grown-up discussion around the role of social media in your daughter's life.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So and I'm going to go back to my friend who was brave enough to start us, and we're going to.
It's coming. Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you very much. So the issue with social media that we see, not only the depression and anxiety that it can bring about, but also the ease of access to drugs that it can give children. We as parents are wondering about that same battle. Do we potentially ostracize our child from their friends by being those mean parents that eliminate social media for them? But what we feel like is that these social media platforms are working against us with algorithms that promote content for them that are neither safe nor family friendly. And so it's kind of a losing battle for us if we choose to allow them to have it. What can be done to tackle that?
Yeah, great. So I'll start. I will again be a huge, loud proponent, advocate, demander for a bill that protects our children from social media companies. And the way we have to start is that their data is not allowed to be collected. It's not allowed to be sold. I mean, think about it. For a 14-year-old to have his or her data collected, where they are, what they're doing, and packaged and sold, and then they're to be hit with particular advertising for something that unfortunately is going to particularly appeal to them because they've run an algorithm, that is wrong. And we're going to work in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I know there's efforts at the federal level in order to stop that practice. I think parents should have to give, express authority for a minor to be on a particular social media site. That's up to parents. They have to give express authority. I mean, side note, we did get a bill passed that did say express authority must be gained from a parent for a pornography account, and that one we were able to get passed through bipartisan support. That is stunning, because how in the world would you not have a parent enrolled here? I have to say, one of the results of that was that the largest pornography site withdrew totally from being in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Totally, gone. So this is a moment for us to step up and again empower parents to be engaged in their children's lives, and to recognize that oftentimes our kids think there are things they know everything about and are good for them, and that's the time for a parent to be most engaged. And so we're continue to work in order to get that bill in the Senate, and I want to get it passed in the Senate next time and on my desk so I can sign it, so that we can empower parents to make sure that they are deeply engaged with the role of social